member for Kairuku.
Assistant Speaker. My question is
This one is
to the Minister for Lands and Deputy Prime Minister. Unfortunately, is out of the country on duty travel, so I will perhaps direct it to the Prime Minister. Mr. Assistant Speaker, my question relates to a portion of land, portion 406, which is also known as the Gabadi Plain in Kairuku electorate. Which now obviously is a state land after the state paid a hefty sum of 46.6 million for this portion of land from the previous title holder. My people of Kairuku would want to know what the position of the government is pertaining to this land area, as it is government policy now and encouraging all 22 provinces and the districts to go into establishing or running many economies to make up the national economy of the country. My electorate people would want to know if the government is willing to offload or give back this land either to the Kairuku DDA or its business arms, or the central provincial government and its business arms for agriculture development. Thank you, Mr. Assistant Speaker.
Honorable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. Let me thank the member for Kairuku for asking this question on the state land in and up there in his electorate in Central Province. Mr. Deputy Speaker, state land right throughout our country falls within the 3% that we have for state use. Kairuku District or Central Province state at the sub-national government level. If land and they have a land use proposal that will come to us, then I don't see it as any offense for us not to pass the state land, whether it is that land in question or any other land to Kairuku District or Central or any other sub-national government district or provinces for that matter. The said land that he's discussing about, we were planning to relocate military. In fact, the previous government planned to relocate a military base into that area, freeing up Marape barracks, freeing up Taroma. But something that we will, in fact, this morning I had the privilege of meeting the governor for Central, discussing on Central provincial plans. And so some of these conversations should be done in totality, and we look at what could be relocated into Central Province to lift the burden and pressure of the nation's capital on some key important government institutions, not just necessarily Defence Force, but key government institutions, including our focus on expanding our large-scale agriculture, tourism, and other economic activities. So certainly, Mr. the Assistant Speaker, if the Kairuku district feels that there is something they can do with the state land, as you know, the earlier transaction happened between State Department or agency or state-owned enterprise and a company that had lease over that land, that secured a lease through an earlier process where the normal lease process that Lands Department facilitates. That happened earlier. The land still remains a state land, and that land and all the other land that falls within the 3%. If government agencies has a plan to develop this, we certainly at the National Department of Lands and from central government or national government, we will not stand in the way of proper proposals proper land use to take place in this limited land that we have right throughout our country. The budget that will come on later today will have an allocation on land expansion. I think it is about time we expand land that, from 3% to 4%, 5%, or do in a leaseback arrangement with our traditional title holders in a proper manner to unbundle the potentials we have in our country. For the first time, we're looking at lands in a serious way as a government. For those 3% land we have right across our country, including that parcel of land in the Kairuku electorate. If the member or the governor from the province has a plan for the land, we certainly are open to look at and work in partnership with them. It could be certainly passed back to them if national government has no utility for the land. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.